All right, welcome back to the Westminster Center for Financial Wellness's Business Certificate Series. This is the Introduction to Investments. I'm sure you recognize my voice by now, and I'm sorry about that. I'm Zach Moss, and this is Chapter 6, so you're doing great. This is an introduction to options. Options sound like a really scary word. They're not. And you know, as we dive into it, it'll make more sense why they're not that scary and they're not that complicated. So they give a trader the right to buy or sell a stock at an agreed upon price and date. So simply what that means is I could say that I want to buy today's stock price, but I don't want to pay for it until 30 days in the future. What that gives me the option to do, and notice option, is I can watch what happens to that stock price before I actually buy that stock at the price I previously agreed upon. That might have you lost a little bit. Don't worry, it'll keep making sense. Options are referred to as derivatives, and that's simply because they get their value from change. When the stock goes up, options become more valuable. So they're mostly used to hedge against risk, and I won't completely sugarcoat this. Options are typically for pretty experienced investors, but that doesn't mean they're exclusively for experienced investors. So there's two types of options. The first one is a call option. A call option is used when you think that the price of a stock or an asset is going to increase, and you're like, no duh, Zach, of course I would buy a stock because I expect it to increase in value, but there's a little bit more to it than that. So for a call option, an investor is going to buy a contract today. Say I buy a contract today for $10. That doesn't mean I've bought the stock. What that means is I bought the option to buy the stock in the future. Should that current asset price rise at some point within my contract tenure, then I can execute my option and buy that stock at the price that I agreed to buy it at, which is whatever the price was that day. But what I'm receiving is a stock that's much more valuable because it's accrued value as time has passed between when I bought the option and now when I'm executing the option. So put options are sort of like the opposite of a call. They're a short position. That means they're used when you expect the price of the asset to fall. They can often be used as a sort of insurance. And explaining how put options make you a profit is similar to explaining how a short position makes you a profit. A little bit complicated, and it'll make a lot of sense here in the next couple of slides when I draw it out for you. But for now, just realize that a put option means you're expecting the price of the asset to fall, and there's some profit that you can gain from that falling, and more so than the profit, there's a lot of insurance that you can gain or take in from buying that put option. So to drawing this out, let me just get my pen out here. We're going to imagine visualizing a call option. Okay, so imagine that today Company X is trading at $40 a share, and you want to buy a call option for that current $40. It's called a strike price. Okay, so what the option costs you is it costs you $10. So immediately, as soon as you buy the option, this is a profit and loss, by the way, and then this x-axis is the stock price. Oh, this is tough to write. I'll just delete this and zoom it forward. Okay, so immediately, as soon as you decide to buy the option, you are at a profit and loss of negative $10. So you start out down here at this negative $10. right? And as the stock price, whatever. Alright, so at this point, maybe you've been able to actually get somewhat of an idea of what a call and a put option is, but more than likely, you're still super confused. Don't worry, I was like way more confused than you are when I first started hearing these things. In fact, I think my mind started thinking about golfing because I kept hearing putt. And anyhow, what we're going to do in the next 2 slides is clear up that confusion and help you visualize what's going on in a call option and a put option. So stop thinking about golf because we're actually going to understand it now. Okay, so what we have here is a graph that we're going to use to represent what happens when you use a call option on a stock. So here you have the x-axis. The x-axis is representing the price of the stock. So maybe I can put a $sign here for you. Okay, boom. And the y-axis is also probably need a $sign because it is representing the profit and loss that you make. So x-axis, stock price, y-axis, profit and loss. So we are going to imagine that there's some company called Company X, okay, and they are trading at $40 a share. So if you want to buy Company X right now, today, you're buying it right here at $40 a share. But we don't want to necessarily just buy Company X today because we are really advanced investors who want to use a call option. So in order to use a call option, we're going to take whatever today's price is, and that will be our strike price, and we will buy the option. Okay, that is, we will buy the option to, at some point in the future, buy Company X's shares at the price of $40. And reminder, if things go our way, then at that point in the future, Company X's shares are worth more than $40, which means we obtain a profit. Now on this graph, to visualize it, the first thing you have to do is realize that no matter what, at the very beginning, you are investing $10 to buy the option to buy this stock at $40. So no matter what, you are starting off at this $10 level, negative $10 level. Okay, you're automatically losing $10. Now, what does it take for you to make more than $10? Well, that share price, should you want to execute it, needs to grow by the equivalent of that $10 difference and then some. Okay, so as long as that stock is worth $40 or less, you are not executing your option, which means you are staying at this negative $10 loss range. Now, as soon as your stock starts to hit that $40 share price, what happens is your loss starts to be minimized. At $50, okay, this is 50, what begins to happen is your loss starts to break even and it turns into a profit. Okay, and as much as that stock continues to grow, should you choose to exercise your option, which you bought for $10, you will make profits of these amounts. So if the stock all of a sudden is worth $60, that means when you exercise your option, you are making a $10 profit, and so on and so forth. That is a terrible $sign.